Oh, shit, we're recording. Oh, okay. Yo, what's up, guys? We are here today to discuss Frost Mage in the pre-patch. Guided by my trusty handbook, we're going to get through this. It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. And we're going to shit all over the meter. So let's get right into it. First thing we're going to take a look at is your talents. Few things have changed. Everything's going to be a little bit different. Some other things are going to stay the same. Few new introductions of abilities. Things have returned. Things have gone. But we'll get through it, guys. We'll get through it. So, without further ado, let's take a look at our talents. So, our talents are going to look a little bit like this. Okay? So we're going to run Lonely Winter. I'm just going to hover over the tooltips so that you can read them for yourself, because I don't want to feel like an audiobook by the end of the guide. Okay? So we're going to take Lonely Winter. We're going to take Shimmer. Who figured? Big change. Rune of Power, guys. Rune of Power. This is a big deal. Big deal. We're gonna come back to it once we've gone over the rest of the talents and why we're gonna use Rune of Power. Now, if you're just gonna be questing, things like that, Incanter's Flow, it's gonna do fine for you, okay? But the big boy damage is gonna come from your Rune of Power, but we're gonna double back to it, like I said, once we get through the rest of the talents. You're gonna go Chain Reaction, okay? Read the tooltip. Tier 40, kind of personal preference. I like Ice Ward because Frost Nova, blink, safety. Frost Nova, blink, you can do it twice. It's handy, it's good. It's just my playstyle, okay? Splitting Ice, we're going to be sticking with Splitting Ice. One lovely thing about Frost Mage that has come back is we're going to play Thermal Void. It's, oh yeah, it just makes me feel good. What can I say? Thermal Void is back, my dudes, and it's back in a big way. It is going to be your go-to for the pre-patch. Now, coming into Shadowlands questing, you're probably still going to use it. I mean, personally, for me, I will probably use Incanter's Flow just for questing as well. But coming back to Rune of Power, one of the reasons that we're going to use Rune of Power is that when you cast your Icy Veins, it will now automatically place a rune on the floor. This is essential to remember if you're going to use your Rune of Power. Okay? For two reasons. One, you will waste a Rune of Power if you precast. Okay? Because you can't stand on 2 runes of power. When you cast Icy Veins, a Rune of Power will instantly be cast along with that cooldown. Okay? Now, your Icy Veins uptime will outlast the 15 seconds of your Rune of Power. If you precast your Rune of Power, you will lose that 40% damage for the rest of the duration of your Icy Veins. So do not ever precast your Frostbolt into a Rune of Power. You precast your Frostbolt. You pop your shit. All of your CDs, your trinkets, your racials, all of that good stuff. And you go ham. When the first Rune of Power expires, what I like to try to do, pending how much I have left, I'm trying to have a flurry ready to go before I pop my second Rune of Power, just to try and get that little bit extra. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. These are your talents. They're not going to be gospel. Like I said, this is how I'm going to play the pre-patch. This is what suits me. Changing the Rune of Power as a Frost Mage for some people is going to be difficult because you've got that muscle memory that you're going to have to compete against as well. Okay? So if you didn't play Fire through BFA, it might take a little bit of getting used to. Okay? You might have to shuffle a few things, change a few keybinds, maybe get yourself a nice trusty Razor Naga. They're really good. Okay? Now, second thing we're going to take a look at is your gear. Okay? One thing that I would like to point out is that item level is pretty much going to be king. Your secondary stats are so close in value at the moment that you're probably not going to see a monolithic difference by your choices in what you actually were to do your damage. Okay? One thing that I will be doing, personally, is I like to have my shatter cap. Your shatter cap still remains 33.34%, but anywhere from sort of 30 to 33.5-ish is going to be fine. Okay? You're not going to see a catastrophic difference. Haste, I'm sitting on 16%. It casts my Frostbolt at 1.7 seconds. If you want to go more haste, you're going to have to go and exceed 21%. I believe it's 21.5%, and your Frostbolt will cast at 1.6. It's not that big of a difference. Over the course of, say, a progression boss, it may be better. Don't know. Going to have to wait to find out. Right. Most important thing about your gear at this stage in your pre-patch is your Azerite pieces. This is important information. Doesn't matter what traits they have, okay? Item level. Item level is king on your Azerite pieces. If you can, I'm preferring to use Flash Freeze and Packed Ice if I can get it. You know, read the tooltips, you'll see why. But one crucial thing that you must include is Whiteout, okay? The reason that you want to include your whiteout is to help the GCD of your frozen orb, okay? Because remember, we're playing Rune of Power. You want that GCD on your orb to line up with your Rune of Power, okay? When your orb's out, your Rune of Power's down, you're receiving a 40% buff on top of your multipliers for your secondary traits as well, and your talents and your abilities, etc., etc. So you want those two to line up. That is the reason why you want at least one whiteout. Okay? Very, very simple stuff. Again, go Flash Freeze, Packed Ice, and then I have a Gut Ripper on there. Doesn't matter outside that. So, let's take a look at the stats that you're going to be running. Like I said, 33% on your crit, if you can get it. If you can't, not a big deal. Anywhere over 30 to 33.5-ish. Thereabouts. Take it or leave it. Mastery, versatility, scaling so closely together at the minute, it's not really going to matter. I'm preferring to try and retain a bit of mastery because it increases the damage of my frozen orb by 49% with my current 26%. So I prefer a little bit of mastery, excuse me, and like I'm only running 5% versatility. Okay, trinkets, again, base stat, intellect is going to be your king. We've kind of reverted back to everything pre-corruption, before corruption completely broke the fucking game. So, intellect. Your sockets. If you have socketed gear, it is probably going to do more damage for you because you can stick a bloody gem in there, okay? You're going to want at least one intellect gem because you can only equip one. And the rest, use them to reach your shatter cap if you can, okay? If you can't, just stack whatever you prefer. It's not going to have a catastrophic difference to your output at this stage in the pre-patch. Okay, right. Moving on to some changes in our spells. Couple of things, okay? Let's take a look. Right, specifically to Frost. Okay, we still have our Blizzard, our Ice Lance, you know, all the good stuff's still there. Obviously, we've added our Rune of Power. We still have our Shimmer, our Brain Freeze, yada, yada, yada. What we also have, though, that we can use, if we look here, we can have Arcane Explosion. And, for whatever reason, Fire Blast. Okay? Fire Blast, I actually see absolutely no point in using Fire Blast. Personally, for me, for the way I'm gonna play, I just won't be using it, okay? Arcane Explosion, absolute pants. It's a load of rubbish. The only time I'm ever gonna use it is if I literally find myself stacked in among about 6 mobs, and they're all literally about to die. It will give you that last little bit of damage increase, okay? Big one that came back, mirror images. Now, I'm going to take the time to read this one, okay? Creates 3 copies of you nearby for 40 seconds, which cast spells and attack your enemies. Awesome. Yes, awesome. Okay. It also reduces damage taken directly by 20%. But every time you take damage, one of the mirror images will dissipate. Okay, that means it's going to go away. It's going to die. Okay? Now, I will be using this strictly as an offensive spell. Okay? Because I am playing with Vision of Perfection, which brings my GCD, or my main cooldown on Icy Veins, to 2.3 minutes, which is a much closer alignment to the 2 minutes of Mirror Image. So you have less downtime on your Mirror Image. I guess if you got into a completely oh shit moment, you know, you could pop your Mirror Image and it might save your life. Okay? It might. Personally, for me though, I'm going to try not to be in those situations so that I can use it as solely a damage increase spell. Okay. So, moving swiftly on, what we're going to take a look at is your Heart of Azeroth, okay? We're going to take a look at your Heart of Azeroth for a couple of reasons, because there are a couple of different things that you can do that will give you a slight damage increase over other players, okay? And unfortunately, I'm one of the players that will not benefit from them, so because I don't PvP, okay? So let's take a look. Now, the setup that I'm currently running is strictly PvE traits only. Okay, I don't PvP at all. I don't have Conflict and Strife, and I don't have Breath of the Dying, Blood of the Enemy. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of Frost Mages using those. It's gonna give you a slight edge, of course it is. They're somewhat better at the moment, but if like me, you don't have them, this is the setup I'm gonna be running. So in my miners, I'm gonna have my Breath of the Dying, I'm gonna have my Lucid Dreams, and I'm gonna have the Crucible of Flame. Obviously, if you're still doing some Mythic Plus and having fun and just chilling with your buddies, play around with these, do what feels right for you. Pick what gives you a damage increase, okay? Now, Vision of Perfection, right? We talked about Icy Veins instantly popping a rune, okay? That's why we're choosing that talent. Now, this is the second reason that we're going to choose Vision of Perfection, okay? What it does is, when it procs, it also procs a Rune of Power. Yeah. It procs a Rune of Power as well. Some people may not have been aware of that, but that's what it does. As soon as you proc Icy Veins, a Rune of Power will appear beneath your feet. So, it's a little bit RNG. Yes, I will admit it. It is. If it works out, awesome. You are going to shit on the meter. If you get bad RNG, you're still going to do great damage. Probably shit on most classes because Frost is kind of OP at the moment. But it is simple, it's reliable, and it works. Okay? The other major essence that you can choose is, of course, your Condensed Life Force. Okay? It's reliable. It lines up perfectly with your 3 minutes. The only issue with it is that you're bringing it way back from 2.3 minutes and waiting for a whole minute to use your mirror images again for your damage output. So, that's the two reasons why I'm going to be running these talents. Or these essences, sorry. I'm going to quickly skip back to the talents and just say that Rune of Power is going to be your big pumper, okay? You're going to get the best damage output from your Rune of Power if you use it correctly, okay? So that you will not precast it before you pop your Icy Veins and all your good stuff, okay? Because when you pop your shit, you will instantly create a rune, okay? And then you will cast your second rune on expiry of the first one, okay? If you're just going to be questing and tiddling around and doing shit and just having a good old time, Incanter's Flow is going to be perfectly fine. If you find that you can't handle the extra keybind, or you can't manage the cooldown, or you can't get things to line up, you know, do what feels right to you. Everybody as a player has got to find their niche, okay? Everybody has a play style, everybody has a preference, everybody performs at a better level doing what they know best, okay? So you could look at the greatest guide and it just might not suit you. It might not make any sense to you, and you could find that you're losing DPS. So do what suits you best, okay? In respect to your gear, just touch on it again to finish up. Use what you have, okay? Don't panic about things. Just try to get your Shatter Cap if you can. It's not a catastrophe if you don't get it. It's gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna be fine. If you have 2 Intellect Trinkets, I guess personally for me, Intellect is gonna be king now because we have reverted back to you're not dependent on Corruption for your damage anymore. So Intellect kind of king again. Most likely base stat is going to be king for most classes. I can't see any reason why it won't be, but there we have it. If you have main hand, off hand, it's going to give you that little bit of extra damage just because you're using the main hand, off hand setup with a little bit of extra intellect, okay? If, however, you have the staff from Mechagon, I don't have it, I would suggest trying it out. The unused effect is an intellect buff. So you zap yourself for like 1.4k damage. Now that could be more significant now after the stat squish. But with Whiteout, Rune of Power, you could pop that, get your intellect buff, pop your Rune of Power, get your Orb off, and then just go ham. And that would be every 45 seconds. So that would be awesome. That would be quite awesome. If you have it, it's definitely worth trying. If anybody has it and they have tried it, will they please leave a comment for me and tell me what results they saw, because I just don't have it and I'm not going to go farm it at this late stage. Okay, we're already in the pre-patch and I just CBA. One other thing that I do want to remind people of is Corruption is gone. So you have no effects to dispel with your cloak anymore. Take it off your fucking action bar and replace it with something that you're now going to use, because a lot of classes, including Frostmage, have some new additions. So that's a keybind that you can take back. Okay? So in closing, guys, this is your talent setup. You can use Encounter's Flow. Focused Magics, complete ass. Don't even bother with it. No one's going to use it. This is pretty much what you're going to be using. This is kind of going to be your gospel. It's going to work. Take my word for that. It will work. You will see better results with Rune of Power if you're using it properly, if you're using it effectively. Your gear, try to get your 33%. 16% haste is fine. I've just preferred to stack mastery after that. Okay? And last but not least, my dudes, I would like to say thank you for watching the video. And we're going to go now to Orgrimmar, to the dummies, and touch on the very last big thing for Frostmage. We can stack 2 Shatter debuffs. We were never able to do that before, and I'm going to go to Orgrimmar right now, hit the dummies, and show you why this is amazing for us. Amazing! Let's go! Right, so we're going to hit up Orgrimmar. This is a massive thing for Frost. Previously, when we were able to cast a Flurry, we put a Shatter debuff on the target, okay? But it was consumed by a procced Ice Lance. Now, that is not the case. Bum, bum, bum! Yeah, we can cast 2 Ice Lances. So hopefully we get into a scenario where that's going to happen, and you'll be able to see it on the dummies. Alright, let's get to the dummies. My UI isn't completely set up before anybody puts in some comments about, oh my god, that UI, it's so fucking dog shit, bro. I don't use Elv UI, I use Dominoes. I've used it for years. It's effective, works for me. Lots of other players use it. I could probably benefit from it a lot more. Right. 2 things we're going to look out for here is we're going to look back at what we said about the Icy Veins proccing your Rune of Power. Okay? So, we'll buff up. Precast Frostbolt. Straight into rotation. You probably haven't noticed it yet, but I'm already casting double Ice Lances. Right, here we go. Double Ice Lance. Boom, boom, both crit. Double Ice Lance again. Boom, boom, both crit. Rune of Power, down. Double Ice Lances, both crit. Let's go. Every single time you flurry, whether you have a proc or not, you can double Ice Lance. Boom, Boom, double crits. Boom, boom, double crits. This is insanely good. Fire those off. Get the proc. 1 Ice Lance, 2 Ice Lance, both crit. Because we can stack Shatter debuff. Amazing. There we go. We got a Vision proc as well. Oh my god. It's all going down. That's awesome. So what I like to do is I like to fire one more Frostbolt. Get my next rune down. Pop that shit off. Let's go. Look at these procs, bro. Look at these procs. Awesome. Second double Ice Lance. Now, it's not the double Ice Lance of old where you could blink Ice Lance. It's not that. It is affected by GCD, so you don't need to worry about it. Your proximity will not matter. You can stand anywhere, and they will still crit. 1 Ice Lance, 2 Ice Lance after Flurry, and they both crit. They both crit. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for your Frost Mage survival guide from myself. So, in closing, let's chat. So that's it, guys. That is how you're going to get your Frost Mage to do the big boy damage in the pre-patch. Coming into Shadowlands, could be a few things that will change. There is one trinket that I'd like to mention that you can buy off the auction house. It's a level 75 trinket. I actually can't remember the name. But it's completely broken and they're going to patch it, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Anything you have, whack it on, give it a go. Big, big deal here. Anything you pick up, anything you're not sure of, go and sim your character. Sim it. Try different things. Do not take any guide as absolute gospel. Okay? Don't do that. Every guide is going to be different. Everybody's going to have different opinions. And, you know, some people will be right. Some people will be wrong. But for me, that's how I'm going to play my Frost Mage. That's how I think I'm going to help you guys out with your Frost Mage. And I'm going to give you one last tip. A lot of players and a lot of guide videos are not going to mention this. Go through your item restoration and restore as many of your high item level pieces to achieve the stats that you want. Okay? If you don't have a piece of Azerite gear with whiteout on it, restore one. There probably will not be another guide that will tell you to do that. It's a big boy, big brain idea. It will help you out. It will improve your damage. Do not forget about your item restoration. There will be things in there that you have forgotten about that will be awesome for you to play with. Okay? Guys, it has been a pleasure bringing this guide for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of comedy at the start. It's been fun to do. I'm enjoying Frost Mage, and for all you guys out there who are going to play Frost Mage into Shadowlands, guys, I can't wait to see you. Please do, if there's anything else you'd like to hear about Mage, if you want to hear stuff about the other specs, if you want to hear about other classes, I will be playing Retribution Paladin and probably Fury Warrior, even though Fury Warrior looks quite bad at the moment. Let me hear you see your comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can, guys. One last time, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you're not currently subscribed, notifications on, please hit that sub button. We are gunning for 1,000 subscribers through Shadowlands. We're going to make it, guys. We're going to make it, and you guys are going to help us get there. If you want to see some live content where we're going to be doing viewer raids every single week, normal and heroic, hit me up at crix.tv/ sorry, that's wrong. Twitch.tv/ crix123. And we will get you guys into some of our viewer raids. The Crix's Celts Twitch is popping off, guys. Join the Discord. Get involved. Come and see me live. Come and see me live. Interesting fact. Around 60 to 70% of people who watch videos on YouTube haven't subscribed to the creator. Please don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be that little boy. Don't be that dog that was so intelligent it was able to watch YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get there. Help us make that 1,000 subscribers. Over and out, my dudes. Thank you so much for watching the guide. I will see you in-game. If you want to hit me up, you can contact me on the stream anytime, and we'll play some games. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in Shadowlands!